Just wanted to thank you all for coming out this morning. We just had a great meeting with Chris Conetti, head of the Houston World Cup Host Committee, of which I'm a member, and Tim Howard, our new member of our Houston Dynamo, Houston Dash ownership group. And we had a great conversation about community impact going into the World Cup in 2026 and the legacy that we can leave beyond that. And so excited about the partnership that we're building in coordination with Houston World Cup 2026, and for the playoff push that we're making with the Dynamo, and leaving the season on a high note with the Dash. So with that, happy to take any questions.
What, after your season is over here, what are kind of the next steps that the Dynamo organization has to take to get ready for the World Cup?
Well, I think it's a variety of fronts. On the community effort side, of which we were talking about today, we have a lot of overlap with what the World Cup 2026 committee is doing, particularly in terms of sustainability efforts and leaving impact on the community through youth soccer. And so we're going to continue our mission in coordination with World Cup 2026 to further build out mini pitches across the city of Houston, to leave a legacy of inner city soccer league development, which has been overlooked, I would say in past generations, but something that we're both intent on developing and leaving as a legacy effort beyond 2026. Bring our players out who are so accessible in the community, arguably the most accessible of any professional athletes within the city of Houston, and engaging them with our youth fans and showing them the pathway for development, whether or not you're going to be elite world-class athlete, the great things that you can benefit from the sport of soccer. On the infrastructure side, we down the street over at Shell Energy Stadium are going to be the match day -1 site for nations that are coming in and playing in market, and so we're working on various enhancements to our facilities so that we can leave a lasting impression for those nations and the visitors who are coming to Shell Energy Stadium, and leave an impact and an impression that we can serve as a destination for further events beyond 2026, and have our visiting nations understand that this is a great venue for coming and playing the sport of soccer. Over at Houston Sports Park, where it's our intent to be a host site for one visiting nation, we have some enhancements that we intend to make there as well. So it's both on the infrastructure side, but it's also on the community side.
When do you see those enhancements being ready, both at the stadium and the sports park?
So it's an ongoing process. It's not something that is going to happen in one off season. We're going to get to work on some of those this year in the off season, and then progress through up and until the World Cup in 26.
What are you envisioning those enhancements going to look like, both here and at Houston Sports Park?
Yeah, so I think just the player experience. There's a lot that we want to enhance, and I think that will also ultimately benefit our Dynamo and Dash players down the line in terms of locker room improvements, general kind of day-to-day facilities work that the players experience when they go over to the training facility. Those are a couple of the high-level ones that I think would be appreciated by our visiting nations and also our Dynamo and Dash players.
Talking about the Houston Dash, something just come up in my mind. The Houston Dash, I can't remember the last time they finished a season with a full-time head coach. It was an interim stepping. And don't you think such inconsistency at the helm of the technical department kind of hinder progress made on the field in terms of also players recruitment, players retention, and all that? What plans do you have to make sure that that part is being stabilized, so we won't be seeing interim managers here and there, and you have a full manager that will implement the philosophy and the program for the Dash?
So I would just note, without going into any specific interim coach or head coach that we've had, there are unique circumstances for each individual and why they are no longer with our organization. Of course, we would like to be doing better. After I leave you guys, I'm going to be continuing our GM interviews to hire a new Dash general manager, And I think a lot of it goes from the top of the organization, and that's me, to Jessica O'Neill as team president, and then on the day-to-day, our new general manager. And so we are being thoughtful about our approach to hiring a new general manager because we know we want to get this right. We need to get this right. And after we hire the general manager, we're going to work closely with that person to hire a new head coach that we hope will be with us for a long time. And so I was talking with a Dash player last night at our annual Dynamo and Dash Charities event, and she said to me, I don't want a fast process, I want a process that gets it right, and I share that sentiment with her.
Where are you looking in terms of the GM? What kind of experience are you looking for?
So we want somebody who knows the global sport of women's soccer and has a lot of connectivity, both within the NWSL, but it is a global sport, and so you're looking for connectivity just beyond our national borders here, and so I think that's a priority, but also somebody with proven leadership experience, because we know that again, the leadership that they impart is going to flow through the organization, and we know that we need to get that right.
Does the new CBA have any impact on the GM hiring or the coach hiring?
I would say no. I think that has more to do with how you build a roster. Of course, anybody that we are going to want to bring on board as GM and head coach who will be collaborating with the GM in terms of the roster build has to have some familiarity as to how you bring on players, but that's almost a given with anybody that we're going to be bringing on.
How do you think that some of the instability in leadership and coaching staff on both of the teams has affected the ability to kind of create a foothold with the community, with the fans?
Well, I'm not sure that we've had a lot of instability on the Dynamo side. I think we've had a 2-year period now, 2 out of the 3 years that we've been here, of stability and effectuating culture and a sporting department and roster that we want to build and sustain. So I think we're actually on a sustainable path with the Dynamo. Of course, we've fallen short on the Dash side, and when you're struggling and you're at the bottom of the table, of course that reduces fan interest. So our intent is to improve how we perform on the pitch, and that'll bring fans to the field. But in addition to that, we're going to continue to make enhancements to Shell Energy Stadium so that, irrespective of the result, that fans leave with a good experience.
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.